Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. This is the first show for 2025. Very excited to be introducing you to the show. If you're new to the channel, don't know who I am, my name is Daniela Bleckner. I am an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called LibLib Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories in the form of books. Behind me on the bookshelf are just some of the 300 plus books that we've published over the last 9 years now. I'm absolutely passionate about what am I passionate about? I don't know anymore. I'm absolutely passionate about amplifying voices of those who are unseen, unheard, so they can educate, inspire, transform, entertain, empower for generations to come. So what is this show and why is it called Between the Covers? This show is all about getting up close and personal between the covers. Thank you for the love. Between the covers, to really delve in and find out what goes on between the covers of publishing a book. I have just seen that I am not live on my Conscious Dreams page, so I'm actually going to multitask and I don't know if it's going to go out on my Conscious Dreams page. I'm just going to have to leave that now, I'm afraid, and then somehow share it onto my business page. Anyway, if you're watching, please do say hello, tap the screen, show us some emojis, let me know what your name is and where you are watching from. I am going to introduce my guest. There we go. I haven't played that theme tune for a good while. The last time we were here, we had a roundup of all of the Conscious Dreams authors. There were 19 in total for the last quarter. I'm currently working with 22 authors. Hey Nazreen, you're gonna love this one. 22 authors, each of them with a powerful message and story coming out. Hi Sue, nice to see you. So I'm going to get, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce my lovely guest. I met her at an event called Project Africa, where we spoke about our books and our business and what we were doing and what our future plans are. So meet Nada Sabet. She is a serial creative entrepreneur, theatre director extraordinaire, an arts development expert and co-founder of LibLib Publishing. LibLib creates fun and engaging Arabic children's books written in dialect, instilling a love of reading by providing inspiring, inclusive, accessible, and diverse stories for Arabic-speaking children everywhere. She says, "We want every child to be able to experience the magic of reading books in their spoken language, to feel the wonder that comes with opening the first page of a new book, and the anticipation that comes with turning the last page of a well-loved book." I had to include that because that was brilliant. Like Nada, I believe that every child deserves to hear and see themselves reflected back. Let's meet her. Bring on those emojis so we can say hello. How are you doing, Nada?
Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Really well. So, you've had a busy start to the year, I see, from your social media. Let's go straight into LibLib. You are obviously the co-founder of LibLib Publishing. Can you share the story behind the name LibLib and also what inspired you to set it up?
Okay, so in Arabic, LibLib, it's actually a colloquial Egyptian word. And it's kind of, you know, when kids are like between 2 and 3 and they start to really kind of chat away and you can't stop them, then you say this child is LibLib.
Oh!
So that's what it means.
So love a chat. Is
yeah,
that what it
so
means?
it's, you know, it's a chatty, a little bit witty, kind of unstoppable.
I love it. I love the name. So tell me a bit about what inspired you to set it up.
I was actually quite angry. That sort of inspired me to set it up. So I remember kind of pacing up and down the corridor of my house in Cairo and kind of just being like, I don't understand why there aren't enough children's books that are engaging and contemporary and just fun. And when there are, they're usually really small print runs and they're hard to get. And I had quite a lot of friends who had given birth to kids and I wanted to gift them gifts of books. And it was a bit of a pain to even find the same book again. And I was like, okay, this is a bit ridiculous. I mean, this was a problem when I was a child. It's a problem now. Why hasn't anyone decided to fix it? And I was like, okay, fine. There we go. Let's do that.
You are a solution driven. You're like me. So if there's a problem, we've got to find a solution to it. Because quite often people might despair or say find all the faults, the things that are wrong, but not actually doing things. So kudos to you for actually setting this up.
Thank you.
And solving what could be what is a problem.
I was actually really lucky because it was like at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And I had kind of been doing a lot of like my background's in theater, so I'd been doing a lot of theater stuff, and it all kind of stopped. So I guess being angry and having time was kind of a good combo for setting LibLib up.
See, we can always find a positive in a negative. I think a lot of things changed during lockdown. There was lots of scope to actually sit down and reflect on the things that we want changing and actually go out there and set things up, new things.
Definitely.
A lot of people didn't go back to their normal line of work. So there's 3 of you in the team. Can you tell us a little bit about the people in your team, what their roles are and how you work as a team? Because I know you do boards. There's a board game expert there as well, isn't there?
There is, yes, Moheb. So so I kind of came up with a concept, and then I met Moheb and Mariam, who are 2 different individuals. Mariam has a bit of a background in editing and music, so she kind of did the editing side of things for the books. And Moheb and I kind of did the rest of like the setting up and the logistics and the shipping and stuff like that for the first cohort of books. And then after that, they both have little kids, and they were like, okay, we love the idea, we'd like to support you, but we're not going to be able to give this much more time. So which was fine. I mean, I'm forever grateful for them for that beginning bit, because really you kind of really need that push to get it going, and
Definitely.
they were instrumental for that. Yeah. And so I kind of manage it all. But that said, I work with tons of people, because you never really work alone. I mean,
same.
So I work with bookstores. I work with distributors, with other people in the publishing industry. And on it goes.
So like your authors, how do you find your authors? Or it's not just you, is it?
So because our first collection of books are kind of for really, I mean, they're from 0 to 5. They mostly don't have that many words in them. So we don't really we didn't work with any authors yet. This is actually something I'm trying to figure out now, because for our next cohort of books, I'd like to create a few short stories. And I keep thinking, do I kind of write an outline and see who'd be interested in writing it, or do I just accept kind of, authors sending whatever it is they're interested in writing, and then we choose from that? Or do I create like a panel that picks? I mean, I'm still kind of trying to work it out.
Advisory board on what to advise you on your next steps. This sounds very exciting.
Yes.
We've got Nazarene online at the moment. Say hello. She is an author who's also interested. Well, she's interested in translating some of her books in Arabic. So I mean, maybe she has some ideas for that as well.
Maybe.
So, lots of collaborations. Hello, Miriam. Nice to see you. Hello, Lee. Hello, Sue. Thank you very much. I am interviewing the awesome and amazing Nada Sabet, who is a co-founder of LibLib Publishing, producing beautifully fun and engaging books in Arabic for children. So if anyone has any questions, please do throw them up. Here's an example of one. Look at these lovely books. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
They're fun. So, I mean, who doesn't want to play with this? I think this is
they're very sensory books as well, aren't they?
Yes. So they're all kind of thick cardboard. They're all a bit interactive. Some more than others. This one has a flap.
Oh, this is bringing my childhood back.
So you kind of get, it's funny how like sounds are different in different cultures.
Yeah.
So yeah. don't know, Habitats, which is also Lift the Flap one. It's kind of fun. Ooh,
Oh,
sorry.
absolutely gorgeous. And where do you find your illustrators?
So we were actually really lucky. We put a call out on Facebook when we started, before we even started, and we were like, okay, we're interested in doing these 11 books, and we're looking for illustrators. And Mariam kind of wrote out a little kind of tiny little what we're looking for, and we got like 300 different entries in like 3
300.
days, and we kind of panicked. We were like,
Wow.
how we need to sieve through all. um so
Couple of months, right?
Well, no, I must say Mariam was quite quick. She kind of went through all of them and came up with a list of, I think they were 30. And then she was
Yeah.
like, okay, can you check the 30 and then and make it into like 15 and we interview them.
Yeah.
So we still have that huge list. There are tons of illustrators, all kind of great. I mean, it's interesting because when you're looking for illustrators, you know, it's not just that they're great and they're skilled, and it's also that they're kind of their style matches what book you'd like them to do. So there's
Exactly.
you're like, would this person be good at this or this?
Matching with the right illustrator with the right style is really important as well, and sort of understands the vision. So seeing as you've got whittled it down to 30 illustrators, I can imagine like there's so many books now that you need to actually get up.
And then we put in notes for like this, we really like this, maybe we can find a book for this later on.
Yeah.
And we have really
maybe they could do that. Then you're giving yourself so many projects. So I know that you not only publish books, but part of your mission is to hold bilingual storytelling events. So why do you think bilingual storytelling is such a powerful tool for cultural exchange?
Why? Well, I mean, first of all, it's introducing young children. So we're talking about bilingual storytelling sessions for like 2 and up. So all the way up to 6, 7. I mean, sometimes older siblings show up and we'll still include them. I mean, I love introducing Arabic to kids that have never seen Arabic, because the first thing they notice is that these are not the same letters. And this book opens this way. And it's great.
One that says, how come you're opening it this way?
Yeah, I remember once I was at a market and this little girl, like I could see her come from quite far away, kind of like left all her back, came all the way up to the books and like stuck her face to the book. And she's like, this book opens the wrong way. Like, yes.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
I'm like, wow, this is something you spotted. Like, you know, like it completely had her focus.
Yeah, it's a great topic of conversation as well, isn't it? Sort of the cultural exchange, and different cultures really have the different letters doing things differently, you know. And I think it's
and
really
it kind of
important,
opens
especially
up.
at that age.
Yeah, that not everything is, you know, like English. And then suddenly kind of the room lights up because someone will go, well, actually my mom's Spanish and I speak Spanish as well, or you know, I can speak Tigrinya, or I can speak Arabic as well, you know, and it's kind of, you know, and people go, oh wow, all right.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, and I always try to kind of incorporate whatever languages are in the room. So
how many languages can you speak, Nada? Just out of interest.
I can speak English, Arabic, a little bit of German and French. But the kids can speak them also. So we can do like, you know, the last storytelling session, there was a girl who spoke French. And she's like, okay, if you say them, if everybody says them in English and you read the Arabic ones, can I say them in French? And I was like, yeah, fine, why not?
Oh, I love that.
Do it.
I love that.
So it's great, you know, for a few seconds, kids get to kind of shine in, you know, in different and unexpected ways.
That's beautiful. I think it's something that definitely brings children together as well. So Dependex, I think I said that right. Hope Box, great name, says it does. The Arabic culture is endlessly rich and deserves a wider platform. Starting with children is a great way to create longevity. Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much. 100%. And one of my questions, I guess, was I wanted to talk about the publishing industry. Do you think it's doing enough to encourage sort of bilingual storytelling, or foster, especially in terms of Arabic speaking children in the UK, books written in Arabic? And if not, what could they do to improve apart
they
from
happily let me
books?
do it. But no, but for instance, because the books are in Arabic, I kind of fall through some of the systems that publishers that are, you know, that are in the UK automatically kind of fit in. Whether it's through listings, so I need to actually write the titles in Arabic and English. Otherwise, they won't show up. You know, it'll just look like garbage, like the entry is not working, like the metadata is bust. Yeah, so it won't go through a lot of things. So I have had to kind of go back to listings and like add more English in, or you know, that's just in how publishing works, kind of thing.
So you have to up the technology.
I mean, I mean, I'm in Hammersmith and Fulham, and in the borough, Arabic is like the second spoken language after French. So it's English, French, and then Arabic. There is quite a big Arabic speaking population that kind of sometimes falls through the cracks, I think, a bit, because also a lot of Arabs don't identify as, like, a lot of Arabic speakers don't identify as Arab.
Talk to me. Tell me, what would they identify as?
Well, the Egyptians will kind of say they're Egyptian. They're not Arab. Yeah. The Syrians, the Lebanese, and the Palestinians are more from the Levant. The Lebanese kind of trace their heritage back to Phoenicia. You know, like you kind of get these. The Moroccans feel more Berber, but you know, like Arab. Like if from an Arabic perspective, Arab is usually what you'd call someone from the Gulf of Arabia.
Which is just a tiny part in comparison.
Which is a tiny part, yeah. And then you have Arabic-speaking countries in Africa. You have Arabic-speaking countries in Asia. You know, so
and the culture is also different as well. And I know that you talk about dialects. Your books, some of your books are written in specific dialects as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about that as well, and how that really then engages young people in terms of reading books written in their dialect?
Yeah. So a lot of the frustration for children for learning Arabic is that because there's this diglossia where the written classical format is not what's spoken. So people speak in dialect. Nobody actually speaks this kind of modern standard Arabic or classical Arabic or Fusha, which are all the same thing. But they speak in dialect. So every country and sometimes different regions within one country will have the dialect they speak in, and that's what a child will know. So you only kind of discover that there's this like formalized, standardized Arabic that you read and write when you enter school. So before that, as a child growing up in an Arabic speaking country, you have no idea that there are these two languages that are only 40% identical. So there's a 60% difference between the dialect and which is huge for a child.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked at the literacy rates and realized that the literacy rates are quite low. And part of the reason is that, and then the other part is that if you're not strong in the language you're learning in, then learning a topic in that language already sets you back a few places. Yeah.
And that's going to work on self-esteem and everything else as well.
And everything else. So the idea is that the actual mother tongue is the dialect and not the formalized system. And so if little kids learn to read and write in the dialect, they can then do the transition into the modern standard Arabic as a way of learning synonyms and then we can create books that kind of do the in-betweens.
Yeah. I remember us having this conversation actually. I was going to ask you about sort of parents reading with their children, and I think there's a massive opportunity here in terms of, and even grandparents, you know, the I can never say the word, intergenerational, you know, connection, you know, grandparents or you know, because sometimes there is that gap when you're sort of second generation, you know, you get swept away with your main language is English, and then your parents or your grandparents are speaking another language. Would you say that, have you seen, hey, I'll come to that question. Would you say that this is a really good way to connect the generations as well with reading?
Totally. I mean, it's great, you know, a lot of the comments I get from parents are like, great, we have something to do with granddad now. So we can or my, you know, the other issue, it's not just intergeneration. The other issue with Arabic is when children's books are in the standardized language, the adult reading the book doesn't actually read the words on the page. So all the pre-reading skills get lost. So that you'll translate into the dialect, or it becomes a bit of a battle between the parent trying to keep the attention of a child who's listening to something they can't understand. So doing them in dialect kind of really helps the adult stick to the words on the page, and then the child starts to get the links between the sounds and the words, and the, you know, the letters form the sound, and they start getting sight words because they're repeated. But if you don't read what's on the page, there's no repetition.
Exactly, and then you can't ingrain it in. And is one of your plans to get these books into schools?
I'd love to get these books into schools. I'm actually in the moment trying to figure out how to get into schools. So I've been doing the few bilingual stories. Why? Because
I was about to say, right, if anyone here works in the school or has any connections, you know, get in touch with Nadia. Yeah, now LibLib Publishing, get those books into schools. It's a great way to
I'd love to get these books in schools. I think they're great, and I mean, I understand that some nurseries and preschools are kind of worried. They're like, but the book's in Arabic. I'm like, but you can tell what it's about. I mean,
exactly.
There isn't much to it, you know.
No.
Even this one, which is kind of like more artsy. The rest are even.
I mean, getting kids to, you know, learning Shakespeare is like a completely different language for most children. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this is something we can all learn. Redoxtel says, is there an easier way of learning than what's done in schools?
Yes, this is easier because then the child learns in what they speak and then can do the transition. Obviously there are many different theories for how to teach language and how to teach Arabic, and this is just one. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of what we're pushing for, is that yes, this is easier, and it's a smoother kind of natural transition, and it removes the frustration, so it's no longer a battle to learn Arabic, where the child is just like, I don't get why I don't understand what I'm reading, so I don't know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah. Thank you. Would it work for children where English is not their native language?
Yeah, I mean, this is for Arabic speakers, whether they speak English as well or not, or whether they're based here or anywhere else. Yeah.
Okay, so another question. All right, so where am I now? I've got so many questions. I'll just pick a few that to actually do. So how do you select the stories and dialects for your storytelling events? And talk to us a bit about your storytelling events.
So the storytelling event, okay, so my background's in theatre, and now I have these 11 books. So I kind of show up with the 11 books, and when it's a small group, I let the children choose which books they want read, and each book kind of comes with a bunch of games that I play. So for instance, the habitat one, we kind of talk about habitats, and we open the flaps, and every child reads, you know, like says what the animal is and tries to either act it out or make a sound. And then we kind of do a parade of animals. So everyone gets to jump around. Yeah, everyone gets to jump around and be different animals, and it depends on the group. Sometimes I complicate it and you need to find a matching pair for your for the animal you choose. And sometimes it's just, you know, every kid doing the animal they feel like doing.
I love it. How would I say pigeon in Arabic?
How would you say pigeon?
Hamema.
Yes, hamema.
Hamema. Oh, it's lovely. Hamema. So it's just a lot more refined than pigeon, isn't it? Pigeon just sounds like pigeon. Hamema.
Hamema.
Well, maybe there's 2 new pigeons coming along. They've got 2 eggs, so maybe I might
Ooh,
call one of them Hemema. I think they're going to
maybe.
hatch in a week's
Okay.
time, so I'm very excited about
Oh, wow. Okay.
that. So what's been the most rewarding moment for you in with your work at LibLib?
Do I have to pick one? I think it's always really, really, really nice when I show someone the books and they kind of look at them and they go, "Oh wow, these are really nice," even though they don't speak. And then even adults will do that. They'll kind of leaf through it and they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Can I open a flap, please? Am I allowed to?" And then they kind of be like, "No, but it's for a child." So I'm like, and then they go, "Okay, just one."
Well, they buy one and they say it's for their child, and then they take it home. They are just beautiful and to touch as well.
I think they do grab people's attention. The quality is great. People seem to like the illustrations. There's a little bit of intrigue, this weird language. It's not every day you kind of bump into an Arabic book in the middle of a London market or a bookstore.
Do you think things are changing or heading in the right direction? Obviously, with companies like yourself, do you think it will get better? I know it's a big question. It's hard to predict. Sorry, somebody said you'll have to rename Piper Hemema.
Or it can just be Piper and Hamema.
Maybe that'll be the name of my next book.
Maybe.
We can
Or
co-write
maybe Piper meets a pigeon from Cairo.
Yeah. Well.
There we go. Yeah.
I love it.
We can do a bilingual book.
And then a board game. Oh gosh,
and then a board game. We're all set. It's done.
I love it. I can't remember what I asked you now.
You asked me if I thought things were improving or going in the right direction. I think there's definitely, everybody seems to be talking about inclusion and diversity within publishing and children being able to see and read and hear about themselves. How much it's actually happening, I don't know. I think maybe that's why I feel like schools are a good place to do these bilingual storytelling events, because it hits these targets for them. The libraries love them. So I have 3 in February on the 18th, 17th, 19th, and 18th. I'm at Hammersmith Library. Wait, hang on. I'm going to cheat because I'm going to make this up and then give you all the wrong days. Hang on.
I just typed in Hammersmith Library.
Yeah, I know the first one's in Hammersmith Library. That is true. Okay, I found them. So Hammersmith Library on the 17th at 2:30.
Yes.
And then Fulham Library on the 18th at 10:30.
You're a busy lady.
And then Shepherd's Bush Library. Sorry?
Fulham Library, what time?
10:30.
Oh, nice and early. Okay.
And then on the Wednesday, the 19th, I'm at Shepherd's Bush Library at 11.
Wow. So I put those 3. Here we go. 17th, Hammersmith Library. 18th, Fulham Library. 19th, Shepherd's Bush. You can meet Nada Sabet there with her books. Get involved.
Yep.
You don't have to be a young child. You might just have an interest in learning Arabic. Why not?
Yeah, come by. Why not?
So Sue says, I think this would give Arabic speaking children opportunity to share their culture. I can picture a child sharing a book with an English speaking child. Well, exactly. This is, I think, the beauty of it.
Yeah. There's a wonderful parent who's now become a good friend, who's, I think, bought these books for everybody, like her children, her entire family's children, and she constantly buys them as gifts for people. And her daughter is lovely. This was her favorite book, and her daughter took this book to school for like a show and tell. So I bumped into her and she's like, I read your book to my entire class.
Oh, wow. And that's beautiful. It's such a beautiful way to connect children through language, through sharing of culture, even though down to the reading, as a little girl said, the wrong way, backwards.
Yeah.
Actually, different cultures do things differently, different letters, different ways of pronunciations, different dialects within the cultures, and just sharing that from the ground up. I think is a huge part of creating change, so that they're cognizant of other cultures and languages as they grow up, and then hopefully that might filter into the publishing industry in however many years' time, if they're not moving fast enough, which I don't think they are yet. But you know, companies like yours are helping to make a difference, so you should be incredibly proud of the work that you're doing. Definitely.
Thank you.
That's all right. What is your vision for the next kind of, oh, I hate when people ask me this. I'm going to ask you. So next 5 to 10 years, where do you see your LibLib Publishing? Where would you like to see LibLib
Where would I
Publishing?
like to see it? I'd like to see us kind of, you know, making, I don't know, 15, 20 books a year, and then kind of opening markets across. So we're at the moment we sell, I mean, we sell all over the world through the website because you can ship
Yeah.
wherever, but in bookstores and kind of doing events where in London or the UK, actually, not just in London, but the UK and Egypt. And I'd like to kind of start pushing out into exploring kind of North America. We have a few orders from Australia. They're kind of like the two
Oh, wow.
really expensive shipping destinations.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, wow, you're actually paying double the price of the book just to
I
get the
know.
book
It's so
there. And I'm like, it's heartbreaking. And I'm always like, what? I don't know what to do about it except like, and then I'm like, okay, can I just send?
Distribution.
Yeah, exactly. Find someone in North America to be a distributor there. Yeah, I think definitely North America first and then Australia, but like just in terms of quantities. And then kind of, you know, push for an Arab speaking market and have, I mean, there are like 30 plus dialects of Arabic.
Mm.
And we're talking about 512 million Arabic speakers on this planet. So it's a huge, I mean,
Wow.
like, you know, yeah, I mean, it would be great to have 30 plus dialects of books. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Wouldn't that be fantastic? What about having so just speaking, just imagine you this shop and then just having like all of your books in there, but also an event space where you have like storytelling, you know, the young children coming in, young Arabic children, speaking children actually publishing their own books. I'm just sorry, I'm just
Let's do it.
or like, you know, learning about food and culture and all of that sort of thing. Events, I think, is beautiful way to bring people together. So yeah, I've just dropped that vision in your head.
I love it. I mean,
I've
been thinking of a book on food, and I'm always like, do we pick like a recipe? Is it more about kind of like how to kind of like make whatever it is? So do we pick like a recipe that requires a bit of math skills to make? Or is it about kind of something really easy but with a story that, you know, that kids can kind of bake or do almost on their own? Or is it about bread? I have this fascination. I discovered recently that there are 42 different types of indigenous breads in Egypt. And I was like, I don't think I've had all 42. Yeah.
Bloody hell. So that's 42 books there.
There you go. I mean, but that's it. Like every idea is 101 books. I mean,
exactly.
I need money to make all these books.
Yeah, so we're looking for schools, please, to get Nada in, and any investors, please, any investors. Yasmin says you just need 1% of those world of people's promotions presents. Just need 1% of those world of people's promotions presents.
What is Worlds of People Promotions? Is it a program or something?
I'm not sure, Yasmin. Can you explain that for me, please? I'm just stuck on the alliteration of the People's Promotions Presents, and I can't get past that. Can you just elaborate on what you mean by that? That would be really helpful. Thank you. But it's interesting. You're talking about, you know, was it 500 billion Arabic speaking?
512, yes.
512 billion Arabic speaking people on this planet, and just think that it's it's a mistake, Yasmin says. That's a mistake. All right, tell us what you mean. Hopefully it was for us. Anyway, have you faced any challenges in promoting bilingual storytelling events, and how have you overcome them?
Well, I'm now at the challenge of getting into schools. Have I overcome it? I don't know. I haven't really tried yet. But I'm hoping I do. I mean, I'm trying to figure out things like who is the person in a like reception to contact? Do I talk to the reception? Do I talk to the I don't know, the head teacher? Who do I contact?
So with schools,
Who's in
obviously
charge of
working in schools as
storytelling?
well, it's always good to go for a head of year or a librarian.
Okay.
So look for a librarian, look for a head of year, because they're often the ones who will, you know, put on events, or World Book Day, for example.
Yeah.
It's normally heads of year that contact me to come
Okay.
in for World Book Day, and like definitely start hitting out now, because this is a really prime time. Lots of schools are rushing. Even though we're authors all day, every day, as soon as it gets to like not, January, February, it's like, right, World Book Day.
World Book Day, definitely. Yeah.
Day. So definitely try and contact the head of year, librarian, but whoever you speak to will put you in the right direction of whoever you need to speak to. There's a website called Contact an Author. This is for any authors, actually. I've been saying this all week. Contact an author if you're an author or small publishing house. You create a profile, and that's where schools specifically go to look for authors to come into the school. Really good. Yeah, I'll put it up there. Contact an author. I've been having a great time with them recently. Got my booking for March. Okay, there you go. So lastly, where can people find you?
The easiest way to find me is on the website. So www.liblibpublishing.co.uk/shop if you don't want to talk to me but want to go straight to the shop. But yeah, all the information is on there. You can buy the books from there. We deliver everywhere. And then we are in a bunch of bookstores scattered around the UK. Yeah, it's kind of I discovered how difficult it is, because it needs to be like bookstores that do children's books that have a section for foreign languages, that feel like Arabic is a language they can sell.
And is that would you say that's one of your biggest challenges, finding retailers to actually stock the books who
would do it in bulk? Yeah.
So last call out, retailers, come on, there is huge jump on this now. There's a huge market for this. We've got so many Arabic speaking children in the UK alone, and this is a great opportunity to share cultures, to connect, but also to reach those children so that they can hear and see themselves reflected back in books. It's vital. So yes, that's LibLib Publishing. Nada, do you have any final words for our lovely audience today? Because we are now out of time.
Ooh, I don't know. This has been lots of fun. My last words. Well, if even if you don't speak Arabic, but if you know an Arabic speaking child and you need to get them a gift, this is a great gift. Love, reading is a lifelong gift. And supporting that is not just, it's not temporary. It's a for life
ongoing thing. And even for people who want to learn Arabic, really straightforward way, and it's literally one word. I think I'm going to get myself a copy as well, but I need to know how to connect the
letters.
The letters. It's been a long day. Connect the letters with the sounds to learn.
Yes,
I think that would really help as well. So
we've been talking to a musician who wants to, we have these like little baby books, like the early concept ones, and we're thinking of turning these into like little songs.
Oh, you should.
That kind of go with the book. Yeah, the only issue is she's like, can we animate it? And I'm like, that's going to cost an arm and a leg.
Any animators? Well, I know some animators. I'm very happy to put you in touch with some people. We've got Naya on our team. We've got Jason as well. I think the sound would be fantastic, because then it's
then
Arabic.
You could hear it.
So people who want to learn, young children who want to learn, interconnected, they can hear the sound and be able to replicate it, and who knows, you might start preferring them over English books.
Very good.
Nada, it's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, check out liblibpublishing.co.uk and connect with Nada. See what she's doing there. She's over on Instagram at it's LibLib Publishing as well, isn't it?
Yes. So Facebook and Instagram, LibLib Publishing. And I just started TikTok. I've no idea what I'm doing. But I started yesterday. Kind of on
yesterday.
Like,
congratulations.
I'm like, okay, now
there's a lot you can do as an author though. I'm still figuring it out. BookTok, I think, #BookTok. I'm still figuring it out, but TikTok's a good place to be at the moment.
So they say. Now I need to, I'm like, okay,
find out how to do it. Well, I'll follow you. LibLib Publishing. I'll give you one more follower. All right, another call out. Follow. How's it go? Follow Nada on TikTok. There you go. Done.
So yeah. So
all right, ladies and gents. So
no, I was just gonna say it's LibLib Publishing on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Sorry. Oh, TikTok. Oh, I can't laugh. Oh dear.
Danny, this is an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting me.
No problem. It was lovely to have you. And yeah, this is why going to events and networking, getting out there, authors, is good, because I met Nada at an event, an Africa 54 event. We went to Kensington Palace, which is very interesting. And yeah, good to network.
Yeah, no, it's a great event. Yeah. I must say I've stayed in touch with most everybody, which is, unlike quite a lot of events where you kind of just meet one or two people.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. Good. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining. I'm not sure. I might take another rest next week. I'm working with 22 authors at the moment. So
wow.
Most of the interviews will carry on kind of from mid-February. So I will see you mid-February, whatever day it is, Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST. Have an awesome and amazing evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.